you guys, and welcome to my hashtag yearathon TBR video for May. Yes, I'm not even putting it together with my regular TBR because I have so many books to show you. So it's reread month for May. I'm so excited. I love reread month. But this time, I'm really trying hard to make it so that the books that I reread are books that I can go on to continue for the month after, which is going to be catch up / finish the series, and I really want this to happen. So all of these books are gonna probably be first books in the series, and so yeah, these are just gonna be some of the books that are gonna be in my my vision. It doesn't mean I'm gonna read them all, it just means that I need to at least get to a couple of these so I can continue the series. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and so far this is a duology. Maybe I think there's gonna be a third book. I don't know how long the series is gonna be, but it follows some kids and they're like Criminal Minds kind of kids. You know, they each have like a special power. One can tell when someone's lying and all this other stuff. Like, they're great profilers, so they're not really powers. But I really enjoyed it, and I really want to read this before getting to the sequel because I just feel like it. And then we have Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter. 2 books have come out since I've read this book, and I own them both, so I really want to read them. And I think there's going to be a 4th and final book. I'm not sure. I really have to check on that, but until then, really want to read this book and get to it and finish it. You know, in my eyeline right now, I see another book that I probably should have picked up for this, but yeah. I just want to say that all the books that I picked doesn't mean there won't be other books that I find throughout the month, throughout the week to read, because these are not set in stone. So the next book we have is The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Tahereh, and even though the other books are more companion novels, I still want to reread this one, and just because I know they mention some of the past characters in them, so that would be really great for me to read. And then we have To Thee by Holly Black. I read this one so many times when I was younger, and I reread it a couple of years ago, but then I was like, I'm gonna continue straight on with the other books, and I didn't. I know in this fairy series, like, the second one doesn't really follow these characters, but they take place in the same world, but I think in the third one we go back to these characters, so I want to read them in order though, so yay. And then we have Lockdown, Escape from the Furnace by Alexandra Gordon Smith, and I own like the first 4, so I really want to get that, catch up, and then be able to get the sequels. And one of the big things I want to do is write reviews for all of these, so hopefully that will happen. And then we have Thomas by Dean Koontz. I remember the first time I've ever read this book, and I was just like, it was the best book ever. And then later on, he came out with more books, and I was just like, ah! So I finally got this one in hardcover. I used to have it in mass paperback, and I loved it, but I upgraded. So, and yeah, I really want to get to the other two that I own so that I can buy the rest of them in the series. No one saw that. And then we have In the After by Demetria Luneti. Oh my god. I only have to read In the End. It's a duology, but I really was feeling that if I didn't reread this one now, that I probably would reread it anytime in the future, and I also really wanted to review it because I did really enjoy this novel, but I think maybe I know enough to just continue on with the second one, but I still want to reread it. Don't judge. And we have The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. So freaking long since I've read this book, like, oh my god. I can't even begin to tell you how much I love this novel. And then after all this time I was thinking I loved it, but I think I love the ending more than I love anything else. And so I had given it 5, and then it went to 4 stars, and then I was like, I should really reread this one because I picked up the second one, and I was like, I don't remember these. I don't remember any details. I was just like, wow. Mostly I just remember what happened in the end. So I really need to reread this, and I own the second and third one, and then that will continue. And then last but not least, I have Shatter by Tahereh Maffi, and of course I read this one. I loved it. It was actually one of the first videos I ever put up on my channel was a review of Shatter, and I was watching it the other day, and I was like, oh my god, yes, I still love this novel, but I probably really should reread it. and so I continue on with the series. And I feel like I remember enough, but I still want to like reread this one just to kick it all off. Just to, sometimes you forget side characters who are not that like into it, but they may come back later like, what? So that's what I'm gonna do. So these are just some of the books that I'm thinking about reading for reread month. I mean, I really, if I could get to them all, awesome, but let's be honest, I'm not. So I'm just really gonna be picking and choosing from them, as well as some books around the house as well, because I could just look around here and see books that I've read before that I definitely want to reread. Like The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, I have it over there, and I've been wanting to reread it forever. The last 3 Harry Potter books, which I started last year, of course, The Giver, The Outsiders, and Ender's Game are almost always on the list, even though those 3 are the ones I remember most. Like anything, like the B.C. Andrew books that I read before, like so many things. But I really want to get to these ones since they're part of a series, and I really want to continue and finish those series because that is a goal of mine this year, and I haven't really been doing so well towards it. So you guys let me know if you have read any of these books, which ones you liked, which ones you didn't, what you thought of them. Do you plan to read any of these books, and are you participating in the hashtag yearathon? What are you going to be reading? Let me know all your thoughts down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.